Yahweh's name. But when the writers wrote what and quoted what Yehoshua said, they used the quotes from the Septuagint, and not from the Hebrew Bible. So it can be argued. I'm not saying that it is clear cut. None of it's clear cut. Everybody's saying the original language is not clear cut. Because the Septuagint that they found, it was 200 years before Yeshua, but we know it's hundreds of years before the Old Testament. I mean, after the Old Testament. So we're saying that they spoke Greek is like crazy. And to understand that there's Hellenistic Jews that it speaks of in the Bible, but to act like all the Jews were Hellenistic doesn't make sense to me either. Because why would they be called Hellenistic Jews if all the Jews were just operated in the Greek culture? Like it was Jews. It said devout, like Acts 2, it says devout Jews and proselytes. It did not say the nations. And going back to that, Acts 10 says that the people were surprised that the Holy Spirit fell on the Gentiles. That's to say, if they were at the outpouring of the Spirit, why would anybody be surprised that the Spirit fell at Cornelius's house? If it was any Gentiles at Acts 2. No, it did not fall on the nations. It fell on the Jews and the proselytes. The proselytes are the people that converted to Judaism. So these are Jews. So everybody on Acts 2 were Jews. It was no Gentiles in Acts 2. The Holy Spirit did not fall on the Gentiles. And even them getting preached to didn't happen until Acts 8. And then the Holy Spirit fell in front of Peter in Acts 10, because I don't recall if in Acts 8 when he was preaching to the Gentiles. Well, in Samaritans aren't Gentiles. And I feel like we don't recognize that there was a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. Israel was the northern kingdom and their capital was Samaria. And Judah was the southern kingdom and their capital was Jerusalem. And if we understood that, we wouldn't be surprised if the Holy Spirit fell on the Samaritans because they're Jews. They just had taken up a lot of pagan practices that the Jews didn't. Because if we understand the deportation in in 2 Kings chapter 17, where they took a lot of the Jews out and imported a lot of people in, when some of them came back, they intermarried with those nations that were there, the Arabians and the Babylonians and some of the people that were in Samaria.